So it's the end of my junior year of college, and life is going pretty well. I'm getting good grades, I have awesome friends, but I'm desperate for two things. To have a girlfriend and to finally lose my virginity. And yes, I was a late bloomer, and in my mind those things are closely related, they're synonymous. Because like many kids around the world, I was brainwashed into thinking that my first time would be with someone so special. And so I was on that mission. And I had my chances, but I was holding out. And I made a new group of friends. My friend Kristen invited me to a party, and I was hanging out with these people who like smoked and drank so much and played in bands and listened to cool music. And they accepted me, and I felt so awesome. But in my mind, that also meant a new batch of ladies to talk to. Let's see where this goes. So my eyes glazed upon one lady. Her name was Lane. She was tall, had really dark hair, jet black hair, which really contrasted with her paleness. And she had a diamond-studded nose ring, which I thought was super badass, and had these piercing blue eyes. And I went up to her and started talking to her about these like cool indie bands, and she was really witty and smart, and I thought, okay, it's going somewhere. And I was way too afraid to ask her out right on the spot. So I asked our mutual friend Kristen, like, hey, Kristen, is Lane single? And she said, yeah, you should try and, I'll put in a good word for you, whatever. You should try and ask her out, though. And I said, okay. So I finally built the courage to ask her out. A couple weeks later, we start going on dates, and things are going well. We're just hanging out at each other's places, and I'm thinking it's going somewhere. But good news is that I actually get an internship in D.C. I'm living in Atlanta at the time. I get an internship in D.C. for the summer, and I kind of have to choose, like, am I going to stay with her or going to, like, build something with her, with Lane, and, like, get a relationship going, or do I stay single and see what happens in D.C.? Because there's another batch of ladies out there that I can talk to. But I decide the former, and I think it's going to work out. So I'm in ecstasy. I'm thinking, like, this is going to be amazing. We'll carry on this long-distance relationship, only knowing each other 2-3 weeks. Which was great. 21-year-old John was so smart. So I go to D.C., and we're writing each other every day, sending each other care packages, calling each other all the time, and it seems so sweet. I come back at the end of July, and I thought this was true love when she said, yeah, I'll just meet you later once you get off the plane and go to a concert, hang out, listen to Snoop Dogg playing in 311, get really drunk, pass out in the yard somewhere, and go to a friend's place. Yeah, I'll pick you up after all of that. So I end up meeting her at like 1 a.m. the day I get back from this whole trip to D.C. And she takes me to my mom's house because I'm still living at home that summer before I move in with my friends. And I'm super cheesy at this point. I'm like, if someone's gonna like me, I'm just gonna just go all out and see it and show them how much I love them. And so we're at home at my mom's house. It's like 2 a.m, and I get down on one knee, which is like the worst thing to do if you're not proposing at all. And I take out my phone and play that Justin Timberlake song, Girlfriend. And I start singing the song to her. And I'm like, would you be my girlfriend? And I start singing the song. And you hear like Nelly in the background, this might be my shining star for your girl. And it's so weird. And it's just a weird moment. It's like pitch black in my house, nobody's awake. And she's like, yeah, that's cool, you didn't have to do all that though. And I quickly realized that was kind of like the apex of the relationship, and I just saw her true colors come out. I started to ignore a few things along the way. One, Lane smoked, and I was asthmatic. So I just kind of fought that, and I thought that wouldn't be a big deal, even if she just opened the window just a little bit, just to let her cigarette drag. I didn't, and she popped in like a mint or two before we made out. But things got better. I kept saying things will get better, things will get better. I lost my virginity, so that was awesome. That happened like a week after I got back, so I was like, hell yeah, this is great. But then things started going downhill again because we'd fight over the stupidest shit. And she would, we would fight over, her being weird at my parties at my house, and she would just be like, I don't really feel like hanging out with your friends, I just feel like hanging out with my friends. And we get in a fight, and she'd hang up with me on the phone. And every time we fought, we would end up calling our mutual friend, Kristen. And this is the worst thing to do, to have that mutual friend that you call, because of course that information is going to get back to your girlfriend. It's the dumbest thing. Again, 21-year-old John, not that smart. And this whole pattern kept going on. I thought everything was going to get better. I thought she was I was going to motivate her because she had just been working at a department store. I wanted her to do more with her life, and I just was so into my major, and I was like, I'm going to go off and be a reporter, and I just wanted her to have this life with me. But it didn't really end up being that way, and we just kept fighting, and things never got better. And fast forward to December, And I'm just seeing that I'm not happy and she's not happy. And so I say, look, Lane, we got to take a break or something. So we're at dinner and we're talking it out. And she starts crying and showing like real emotion for like the first time in a while. She felt so reserved or seemed so reserved. And she said, I don't want to take a break. And I said, look, I really think we should because clearly you seem upset even when we're hanging out and doing fun things with my friends and your friends. And she said, okay, fine. So we took a break for a week. We get back together. The day we get back together is New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, when you're getting back together with someone, is the worst because they don't want to talk to you. And so expecting that kiss at midnight is the worst, especially when they say 3 words to you. And she just gave me a peck and just went off. The next day she comes to my house, sits down on the bed with me, and breaks up with me. And says, this is the reason for breaking up with me. She says, you're too nice for me. You deserve someone better. And I was heartbroken. But then I quickly realized after recuperating and drinking a lot with my friends over the next week that I would think I was more in love with the concept of actually having a girlfriend than actually what it meant to have a girlfriend. Thank you.